Uh, we're recording, everyone. Well, hello, angels. It's Monday night. We've just had a great call with 100 Club NMD, Dr. Mike Ewald, who Tamara met in the US, and of course, he heard her speak so amazingly. So they're kindred spirits. They're both loving what they're doing, and they're loving on people. So I think while we've got that really great vibe, I think what I prepared for you tonight, how you're all expecting verbiage and you are going to get it, but you're not going to get it till the end. So then everyone shake their head and wake up because it is getting a bit late. Because I think there's some really good stuff in this that we might. So just bear with me while I go through my notes, and feel free to stop me if there's anything you'd like to ask. Okay, so and you don't need to mute yourself. There's so few of us and no one seems to have children in the background, so all good. Okay, so before the verbiage, I want to remind you that we try and fish, not hunt. Now, does everyone understand what I mean when I say that? If you're at a party or something and you're feeling a bit icky about it, it's probably because your style previously might have made you feel as though you were hunting. And really we go fishing. And I didn't get the rules of fishing out because we've got a really good document that I've been through before. But the thing is, we're not selling vacuum cleaners or insurance or lipsticks. We're selling something. We're sharing stories so people will hopefully buy whatever, a product that they all need. I mean, my belief is that everyone in the Western world, even those of us, like I know particularly Nicole, and I'm sure Amanda, with your past history, you're pretty almost perfect most days. But we all need Juice Plus. We really do. Okay, so while we go out fishing for people, because remember, we just want to reel them in. It can be 6 or 7 exposures and all sorts of things. We want to build a relationship and trust and all that. So something I've really noticed, and I've mentioned it to a couple of you on the call, and I really want you to understand what I'm saying. When you speak to someone, whether it's face-to-face, belly-to-belly, which our founder and president, Jay Martin, always calls it, like in the old days before social media, and hopefully now, because it's actually still more powerful when you are face-to-face with someone, you've got to have intention. I'm noticing a lot of people are doing really, really pretty posts, interesting posts, but I want you to get in that habit of, before you do a post, what's your intention? Is it just to be a nice person and share a health and wellness habit? That's fine. And that is intention, because maybe it can open up a conversation about what you do, you know. Because don't forget, with Facebook, particularly their algorithm, unless you get some interaction and comments happening, you're not really going to get much happening with it. So I want you to really get, who here tries to do a social media post every day? I know I do, and particularly on my new page. Or who's intending to when they really get stuck into it? Yeah, okay. So I want you to ask yourself like for me, sometimes I'll think of something, or I'll even see a graphic, because I've saved hundreds and hundreds of funny things, deep and meaningful things. I'll see something and I'll think about what I want to post about. But I need me and all of you guys to ask, what's my purpose in posting this? What am I going to do? First of all, we're told that we need to engage with them, to entertain, to inspire them, to teach them, to love on them, to reassure them, but to really be entertaining and add value. But you are not doing Facebook things really just to be a nice person. We are not. Mike's just said we love on everyone, and we're doing that maybe by our posts. But our intention is that we may be able to get yet another person on Juice Plus, or yet another person to join you in the business where nothing about you or me or anyone, it's going to help them. Of course it will help you. But, you know, more importantly, if that intention is to really reel them in as you're fishing, and get them to want to join our community and do what you do, wow. So you've got to have intention. So you need, before you put pen to paper, when the idea is there, ask yourself, what intention am I intending to get them to ask what those capsules are? And I rarely, and I suggest all of you, you rarely do anything about the business or the, you might do 7 or 8 posts, and then you might have one little thing like drinking a smoothie or whatever. Okay, so what message do you want to do when you're inviting someone? Like you can say you want to add friends, you can do posts, you can add value in other groups, you want to invite them to be your friend, to do a little message. What is your intention? Because it all comes back, and this goes right back before social media. I could stand here in my office and I think, okay, this is a mess. I'm going to sort things out and file and going to get things ready for next week's training. That's just activity. Maybe indirectly it might make me some income if I'm organized and ready for training, but it's not productivity. And so many of us are just doing the same old knowledge absorbers. We're learning it all, but we're not doing it. We're not listening to what we're learning. And can I just tell you that every Monday when I prepare one of our trainings, I'm so grateful lately that I have to do it, because like even today, I was excited. I thought, yeah, that's right. That's what Fraser Brooks said or whatever. So I'm relearning myself, and then I can share with you. So, on one of those days where you don't really feel like doing any follow-up or going out doing any networking, get your old notes out from 90-Day Game Plan or Ignite or whatever, because there's some gems in there, and you'll literally sit there and go, oh, God, that was an aha. Why aren't I using that? And I think for me, particularly with my new Facebook page, I'm really having to study up and know, like, when, and I'm going to say this very optimistically, when they come pouring in my funnel, I need to know what to say to them. So just going on, we're going to pretend that we're going to a barbecue. Okay. We aren't going hunting, because there's nothing worse. I have actually myself, sometimes when I used to go hunting, I wasn't going out to enjoy myself. I was going out to see who I could get for Juice Plus. You actually have to be a warmer, nicer, more loving person than that, and have it come in organically because you care about the person. And you have to be respectful and honor your host, that you're not going to vomit Juice Plus on every guest that they've got. And I remember in the very early days, we were taught to say, look, I'm so excited. There's so much I could tell you about it, and I could go on all night, but that wouldn't be fair. Let's enjoy it. Let's exchange numbers. I'd love to get some obligation-free information to you. In fact, why don't we have a coffee? So isn't that much nicer than vomiting it? And also, even though your passion and excitement and enthusiasm is important, it is much easier if you get the likes of, say, the Come Join Us video, or I love the one that starts off with Kate Golay and all that, just talking about the business. Or if it's a product one with Dr. Tamara, because we're not experts. And the beauty thing is we don't need to be experts. And here's another thing. Just say you're standing there talking to Sally and you're vomiting stuff. She'll be thinking, oh, well, the first 5 minutes I was thinking that might be something I could do from home. But now that you have to know all that stuff, no, I couldn't do that. So you actually do yourself a disservice. The key to this is keeping them curious, keeping them, when you're fishing, reeling them in a little bit. I want to know a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, so we've got to remember that it's about others, not us, and remember we're here to serve. Okay, and I think I already said this before. Our belief, way before dollars, titles, ego, bonuses, our belief is that everyone in the Western world needs Juice Plus. And a lot of doctors, actually, when I first started and went to a lot of US conferences, a lot of doctors would say it's unethical not to not let our patients know that it's at least available. So we have to, and over here, we haven't even scratched the surface. So it really is what everyone needs to know about it. Doesn't matter what they buy, because it might happen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exposures later. Might even get someone else might get them as a customer. But the main thing is they're on Juice Plus. Your turn will come. Okay, so what was that little noise? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, so with intention, I'm going to ask you, hands on heart, who pretty much tries at least, whether you meet someone at a party or wherever you are, who at least tries to bring Juice Plus into the conversation, or what they do for a living, or what they're doing to try and make sure they end up with a passive income? Yeah. Yeah. You know, the two. Yeah. Thanks for your honesty. I knew that Nicole and Kim would put up their hand.
Not as much as I should.
Sorry?
Not as much as I should.
Not as much as you should. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That's honesty. But that's where your growth comes. And, you know, I would say to you, you know, and I say this with love, don't be so bloody selfish. You've got to share it with everyone. And we've got to get over worrying what people think. And I'm one of the biggest people. I want to be loved by everyone. I'd be really embarrassed if they thought I was doing something terrible. But if we stick to the rules and we just go fishing, give them a little bit, they've got the curiosity, and then it's up to them when they want more. And I'll keep going with this. So for me, pretty much 70% of the time, but fear can creep in, even with me. It really can. So, you know, sometimes I think, well, it's not really appropriate. But now these days I can say, oh, that is absolute BS. You could do it very subtly and just plant a seed and then drop it. Just get that curiosity up. So that's one of my BS stories. Oh, it's not appropriate wherever I am. And, you know, like the other night we had a celebration for Craig. Now, I had a lot of people here, and a lot of them have had illnesses, have got illnesses, conditions. A lot of them have got a hell of a lot of money. And I'm actually trying to think, I think only one out of about 40 people was a customer of mine. And I had my daughter who was helping. She's a customer. She's a pharmacist. She understands the research. And I'm not sure, I probably got this in my notes later on, but one of the saddest things I found was that some of you may not know this, but I lost my brother in October from an alleged heart attack, but I actually think it was a knock on the head and a ruptured aneurysm. But all the same, something was wrong and he needed it. So his wife, my sister-in-law, she knows about Juice Plus. She's got a terrible family history, and she and my brother actually used Juice Plus for about 2 weeks, a month, when I started in 1998, and then they cancelled because, oh, it kept us awake. And of course, I wasn't trained enough then to know how to deal with that. But all of you, particularly for you couple of newbies, family is the hardest. Family is the hardest. Even if you buy it for them, half the time they still don't want to take it. So that was going ahead of myself, but I want to share that. You know, but obviously at that party I wasn't going to rave to anyone. But the thing is, I still make it known what I'm doing because their circumstances change. And even someone who's been a former franchisee for me, I think I told you on a call recently, I saw them after many years at a party, and he was just going in for surgery for prostate cancer. And I whispered to him as he and his wife left, if you'd like to get some Juice Plus, I'm happy to get it for you at cost. If you'd really like to get it back. And big smile, cheesy. Saw them again later on, not a word. You know, so maybe they weren't educated enough to have that belief. But people always think, this won't happen to me, this happens to other people. And even when it does, they don't think to have the bare basics, fruits, vegetables and berries. Anyway, I digress. Okay. Also remember though, and that's why I'm going through all my cancelled customers over many years, I'm trying to ring 3 to 5 a day. Their circumstances could change. You know, even money-wise, they might be divorced and need an extra income. Lots of things can happen. Or if you're bothering and you've rung and you've actually caught them, have a little catch-up. You say, well, look, it might not be for you still, but do you know anyone? you could, you know, refer me to, blah, blah, blah. It's just connecting and networking and talking all the time. Okay. The other thing is too, and that's what I was going to tell you about, it doesn't have to be your story. You know, like you could be talking to someone and say, oh, a lovely friend of mine, she lost her brother last year and she cannot believe it that the rest of the family isn't saying, well, what's this Juice Plus stuff? Because I'm sure as hell think, well, if it was a heart attack, am I immune? You know, so you can use other people's story. We can use Amanda's story. We can use Kim's story. And all the other things. There's so many stories on the Australian New Zealand page. So much there. Okay. Yeah, so obviously, so for many, we have to sadly wait till they actually believe our message. And quite often it's too late. Okay. And I've said that family is always the hardest. Let's move on to intention when meeting strangers. And this is something that when I did my climb to NMD, I was absolutely disciplined. Anyone who came within 3 foot of me, I would open up a conversation with someone who had really healthy food in their trolley if there was 2 or 3 deep, if I thought I had a couple of minutes at the checkout. If I was in a queue at the post office and a child was coughing, oh, poor little love, chatting to the mummy. I should give you some information on what I use for my children. I know that's out of left field, but I'd love to supply it to you. Start chatting, and it's happened, and I've gotten customers that way. And I think we've all gotten thinking that everything's going to come from social media. We have to talk. We have to make friends. You know, if I made a fool of myself with that lady in the checkout queue, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And what if you got them on the product? You'd be helped income-wise, and that little tot would be helped. And then that mum might tell other people. She might even become a franchisee. So we must, what's the rule number one? Number one, high-paying activity is talk. And can anyone honestly say that they've definitely talked to someone about Juice Plus today, whether it's talked to someone or followed up or done something that will help your Juice Plus business? I certainly have. Cole? Xavier has. Kim, have you talked to someone today about Juice Plus?
No, because I haven't met anyone today.
Oh, okay. What about you, Amanda?
No, I've been at home with a sick child today, so I haven't done anything.
You're a good advertisement.
But, I know, right?
Yeah. Okay.
My problem, I think, is like you were talking before about hunting and fishing, and I think, you know, the previous businesses that I've been in, it's been more of a hunt thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm finding it really hard to get my brain out of that into the more of the, you know, just fishing.
Yeah.
That, you know, so yeah, I think that's where I'm struggling a little bit. I'll get over it, I will. Yeah. But yeah,
I think
that's what I'm struggling with.
I think maybe for you is for you to acknowledge you're sharing stories about a very different product now. Like what you were sharing stories about in your previous businesses.
Yeah.
Did they desperately need it? Where we're saying everyone in the Western world needs this because they either can't, won't, or don't eat enough fruit and veg. So maybe change your head about that.
Yeah.
And even say,
I fully believe in this.
Yeah, and even say, if I damn well have to hunt them down, I will, because I don't want what happened to me to happen to them. If we can reduce their risk, let's do it. So, yeah. You know, you could even make a joke about, I am hunting people.
Yeah, it's just me getting it right up here.
Yeah, yeah. But you'll never get it 100% right. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Now also it does mean asking master questions, but it's also often a series of exposure. Nicole shared with me today, we have a little bit of a giggle about this. Her friend Ilona, who Nicole's been drip feeding and tempting and all that thing. We finally got her on product. She came to the book swap. I eyeballed her. and we had a bit of a chat. And now she's coming to the bowling thing. And she was really pretty much doing great. No. It sounds wonderful and all that, but no, I'm not joining the business. I bet you $100 she's with us in the next few months. And if she's not, well, we just leave her till it's like when maybe her circumstances have changed. We keep loving on people. We keep the door open. And then it also goes back to let them come through any door they want. If they only want an occasional 30 sachets of complete, so be it. You know, one of the biggest mistakes I think some of us make is we get a lot of people to go on premium. When you think about that, like I fall, not for a minute do I think Juice Plus is expensive, but if the money's not there, it's not there. So I would rather than be on, say, just Berry Blend or just Omegas or just Fruit and Veg, and be on premium, panic about the cost and go off. So, and that's where good customer care comes in. Get them on one product and then you start raving about the benefits of it. I'm quite often getting new customers, but it's actually adding a product to an existing customer, because then, you know, when they're totally, absolutely happy about it and they're happy with spending that money, they'll often spend some more. Okay, so that was, oh, and my example too, recently at a football, luckily we've got beautiful friends who've got a corporate box at the football, and we quite often go to football and basketball with them. Met this amazing lady who I was fishing, not hunting. She is gorgeous. She's a mixture of about a lot of beautiful people in Juice Plus I can think of, and she's got this fabulous website which really helps children and protects children. She's a former teacher, and I was genuinely fascinated and eager to find out about it. So I really planned. So instead of me giving her a card and saying, oh, give me a call and we'll have coffee, I made sure we exchanged cards. On that Monday, I emailed her and said, we should do coffee. I've looked at your website. I'm blown away. I think I might even be able to have some contacts for you. So in my mind, this girl, you know how we've got the upcoming regional trainings, like they're trialling in over East? Well, part of it, right, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Exactly. We're trialling these regional things, and one part of it will be Design Your Life and a guest speaker and something else. But she is such a beautiful girl. She would be so well received. So if she was already a raving fan customer and I said, look, I can probably get you a speaking gig, which will really help your website and your business, it's win-win. So that's what networking is. But you never know. She might end up either being one of us or putting some young mums onto us. Anyway, that's an aside, but I was trying through Nicole's example with Alona and mine, a series of exposures. You know, you don't go with your spear and stab and hunt. You're fishing and reel them in. Just give them little bitty things. Oh gosh, I better move on. Okay. Okay, so that's still moving on and we're having a coffee date soon. So now we've met Sally at a barbecue. I promised you some of this verbiage. We've met Sally at a barbecue, and a little note I saw today in a Fraser Brooks training, and this is with social media. Don't forget we're talking about meeting Sally at a barbecue. With social media, you have to literally speak, even if it's just on Messenger, to 10 contacts to get just one offline to actually talk. Be face-to-face. And even Brian Marsh, Super NMD from over East, he says, as soon as you can get them offline, get them. You're only getting them to come through the funnel or to get on your hook if you're fishing, get them online, get them to see who you are. So you can, they need to hear your enthusiasm and see your bubbliness and your excitement. Okay. Yeah, so face-to-face, belly-to-belly always wins. Don't think social media is 100%. It's great, but it's not. And he also says longevity, that is posting daily with intention. So they think so even if they've said no or they haven't bitten the hook yet, they see that you're consistent and they see it for so many months. They keep following you and they think, well, must be a good thing. She's still doing it. She must be doing well. So it's important, even if no one's biting, to be consistent if you are doing social media. Okay.
So Hilary, sorry,
Yes.
can I just ask, if you're
Yeah.
like you're talking posting with intent every day, you're talking a Juice Plus post specifically,
No,
like
no,
whether it's business or whether it's
No.
No?
you're posting to get engagement, to build relationships with people. You want to either entertain them, you
Okay.
want to inspire them, help educate them, make them laugh, and then every now and then you might say, oh, love the energy I've got from my 6 little magic pills I take every morning. You don't show the bottle.
Cool.
Or anything.
An example of that, Amanda, is the post that you did with the protein balls a little while ago. That's a perfect
Oh, yep,
example.
yep.
So many comments,
Yep.
so much engagement, you're adding value because everyone wants your recipe. Plus,
Yep.
you're saying, oh, I put the complete in there. And they go, what's the complete?
Yep.
That's a post of intention.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
cool.
an absolutely brilliant thing, and I can get it for you at a reduced price through as a preferred customer through my account.
Cool.
Thanks,
Perfect. Thank you.
Xavier. That was beautiful. Got a little friend called Debbie. Okay, so interaction here. So some verbiage of a new meeting. Now, a lot of people use a lot of different things. At the moment, we're going to look at form. F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, M for money. So, this is from the 90-day game plan. At some stage, you can share the pain that you've had in life, and then we use plot. Okay? So we're going to be doing this a little bit later on. So when you use plot, which is pain, lesson, opportunity, and triumph, and I'll explain that a little bit better, because at some stage when you use plot, you'll share the pain that you had or have in life and what you're doing or did to ease it and change things. So pain is what stresses, like you can ask yourself, why did you start this business? What stresses, what were you sick and tired of? A lesson. What happened in your life to make you realize things had to change? That's the L, that's the lesson. O, opportunity. What will focusing and building your Juice Plus business create for you? And triumph. Well, triumph can be, for some people, no more 9 to 5, no more shift work, no more missing kids' assemblies, having fun while making dollars. So far, through Juice Plus and what you're appreciating, so your triumph so far, even if you've only just started, what are you appreciating or having fun with? But then we go on a little bit further, and I thought I'd share, because obviously I've been in business nearly 21 years. I thought it might be important to share this with you and show a bit of my vulnerability, because it was a little while ago that I really had to change my why, and it's changed quite a bit. So I did this exercise quite a few months ago, and I was really very, very flat at the time about Craig being away. And, we have set ourselves up for a good retirement, but we want to set ourselves up for an amazing retirement. And I'm passionate anyway about Juice Plus and my people and our people, but I still want to do really well to make it even better. So I thought I would just share this. So for me, so you guys think of me at my age and what's happening in my life, and you've probably already done this in an exercise, but it doesn't hurt doing again. So pain, what wasn't working in my life? What were the stresses? What were you sick and tired of? So I was upset with Craig being away. We still had lots on the bucket list. I was worried that we wouldn't have enough for huge abundance in retirement. I know, Nicole, law of attraction, I shouldn't think of lack, but that was one of my little fears and worries. And we just were upset that we weren't together and things had to change. The lesson, what was the moment, the realization that I realized things had to change? Well, I realized that I had to actually try harder. I had to stop being just managing the team, and I had to lead from the front and go out and do the hard yards and talk just like I did to get to NMD. I need to go and get more people in the team and encourage the existing ones. there was a lot I had to do. I really changed it. I had to get rid of some limiting beliefs like, oh, you're too old, who'd listen to you? Oh, you're too old, you don't really understand social media that much. All BS stories, you know, all this, oh, social media makes me anxious. So anyway, the lesson was, why I said yes to trying harder was our disastrous Bali trip last year. So Craig fell and split his head open. It was really, really bad, and it ruined the whole holiday and scans and everything. Then a week later, my brother passed away unexpectedly. So I just thought, enough's enough. I needed my husband at home to support me through that terrible time. Of course, he couldn't because he was doing FIFO. So that was the lesson. We just had to bite the bullet and do it. So, but more importantly, it made me step up and decide I want to do my Juice Plus. I so know how to do Juice Plus, and I'm now finally doing it the way I need to. So the opportunity, well, what were the solutions you could see in this model creating extra income? What did you hope to create? Well, you know, earlier for me, it would have been when I was nursing, no 9 to 5, no bosses, and having fun and success with others, fulfilling and dollar reward. And that's when I said to you, I knew if I got out of management and actually immersed myself in action, that it will happen and my income will double, and then we'll all be laughing. Okay, so the triumph part of plot, remember that we're doing P-L-O-T. The triumph part is, so far, what are you appreciating, excited for, hoping for, enjoying? Well, we pulled the pin on FIFO, we've got a nice home and cars, we love eating out, we've got lots of bucket lists ticked and planned, blah, blah, blah. So I've told you all that. And then it just says here, right at the end, to help craft our story, we use a simple framework. We call it plot. Where just like any good story has a plot, so too do we. The plot of a good story would include the hero going through, being in pain, then having a breaking point, and that's the lesson, and seeing a solution, the opportunity, and then becoming triumphant, just like a good old hero. Now, the verbiage I keep repeating the word intention. And this is from Sam Lee's, which a lot of us, she left us for dead because it was too fast for us. But focus on, focus on, and don't confuse, this is really important, guys, don't confuse effort with effectiveness. That's what I was saying before about activity and productivity. So I see a lot of you doing many, many posts. And hey, I'm not your boss. I'm not telling you don't do it anymore. But I personally, unless I'm blind, I can't see the intention. If you're doing it to try and get people interested in what you do or the product, I'm not really seeing a lot of intention. So I really want you to ask the question before you do it, if you choose to. Okay. And the other little bit that she says, Sam Lee, she says, effort doesn't equal effectiveness or intention. Effort with the intention of building relationships, people buy from those they know, like, and trust, and also the intention of entertaining, engaging, because you're trying to find their desires and challenges. That's exactly what you're trying to find. And that's what I'm going to do some verbiage with you in a minute. So so you have to ask yourself, what is my intent of this post? And it's the same with face-to-face. What's my intent? And some of the verbiage that I reread today and I love, and you almost need to learn off by heart how to do it because it's really clever. So our intent, even when you're talking to someone or doing a post, to be building a relationship of trust and finding their challenges and finding their dreams. Okay, the right questions can lead you to find the challenges they're having, so always being engaging and entertaining. Now to finish, we're back to meeting Sally at a barbecue. So I'm going to share just one situation learned from the very talented Fraser Brooks. After a few little niceties, he uses a different acronym called LORD, L-O-R-D. So it's location, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So listen carefully to this one chat, I just love it, and see how clever it is, and practice and put it into your own words. And this can be face-to-face or social media. So the first one, he or she, say it's me, I'm going to ask about location. Hi, Sally. Met her at a barbecue. Do you live locally? She might say no. Oh, where are you based? Maybe just some small talk and say, oh, I know that area. I've got a friend who lives in. So you're just the same thing you would do if you met anyone anywhere, but you're just finding out a little bit about them and breaking the ice. And then occupation. Sally, what do you do? An answer, she might say, I work in admin. Or she might say, I don't, I'm a stay-at-home mum. And then if she said, I work in admin, you say, oh, how long have you done that? And she says, 10 years. Wow, 10 years, you must really love it then, because you're fishing, don't forget. And she'll more than likely say, no, I hate it, but we need the money. Bingo. See where this is heading? I think this is sheer genius, but we don't think to do it. So really think about Lord. Location, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And we'll keep going with this verbiage. So recreation. Sally, what do you like? What do you do in your spare time? What do you like to do in your spare time? Sally says, oh, I like shopping, I like tennis, I like catching up with friends and traveling. And then I would say, oh, sounds like a lot of the things I love. Do you get to do that much? Sally says, no, with a painful expression. Bingo, you've found another pain and desire. She would like to do more shopping and traveling, and her pain is that she can't. Okay, and because you don't want to be too obvious, she said shopping, so you say, what's your favourite shop? She says, Witchery. I say, oh, and then I say, oh, do you get to shop there often? And she says, no. Oh, why not? I love Witchery. I half live there. Sally will say, I can't afford it. Oh, shame. So you can say shame and you can just zip it, because I think you've said enough for there, and then more, and then we're going to move on to dreams. So you guys know if someone's doing a sell job on you, you know. So you've got to be really subtle about it. You've got to be focused, but then pull back and be subtle. So then you're going to say, and this is about dreams. Oh, I love travel too. What holidays have you got planned? Sally says, none, but I wish I did. And I'll say, oh, shame. And I don't have to gloat or say we've got a cruise planned or something. So you zip it and make sure you exchange numbers, emails or whatever. Then if it's on social media particularly, or even after a barbecue, he says, let it rest for 3 or 4 days. So all you've done, you've found out what location she lives, what she does for a living, what her pains and desires are and dreams, etc., etc. Then after 3 or 4 days, reconnect to try and arrange a coffee or whatever face-to-face, or even in social media and messenger. So you've let it go 3 or 4 days. You already had the conversation where she was saying, oh, I wish, and this, that, and the other. So you then send a message or say to her on the phone, hey, Sally, just curious, would you be open to checking out some information? Sorry, there's a bit of noise somewhere. What's that? Just a crackle. Okay, hey Sally, just curious, would you be open to checking out some information on how to get more time in your life, more travel and more shopping time and money? No worries if you're not, I just thought I'd ask. Just leave it. And then if she says no, face to face, just keep the conversation going about what you did for the weekend or whatever. You know, don't blink an eye, because it's just you're fishing. It didn't work. She said no, but it's not all over yet. So, and on social media, again, keep the conversation open and continue to post. And then follow up in 3 months. See, it can be a long series of exposures to see if circumstances, thoughts have changed. As you say, hi, been having a ball and blah, blah, blah. Just thought I'd mention again that I have got some information you might like if you're interested in more travel or more time or blah, blah, blah. So always keep the door open. But then again, Sally could have said, yes. Would you be open to checking out some information? And Sally said, yes. So then you say, you know, when I first met and heard Fraser Brooks, I wasn't a fan. but he is flipping brilliant, let me tell you. So, yes, you then just say, well, the information I've got is a visual thing. And there's a little bit Eric Worre here as well. When do you have 20 minutes out of your life to potentially even change your world by looking at this information? I felt that sounded a bit corny, so you'd probably have to find your own thing. I would just say, when do you have 20 minutes out of your life to potentially, look at something that I really think might interest you? Sally, well, I have 20 minutes tomorrow at about 10 o'clock. Then I would say, well, I'll send the link just before 10, and then I'll contact you at about 10:30. Now, audio messenger is great to use. Chances are, when you ring, she won't pick up. Let's face it, only 1 in 10 might grab the opportunity. So when you do follow up call, they may not answer. But if they do answer, ask, hey Sally, what did you like best? She might tell you. Then you can say, is there anything else you need to know to get started? And if Sally says no, and then you say, well, let's go, let's make a plan. If Sally says, yes, there is more she needs to know, then obviously you say, well, please ask. And bingo, we fished for her pains and desires. We found out she's got pains and desires. She's listened to the information. She's not quite sure yet. She's got some more questions. So then we're just going to be there for her. We've caught her and we've already waiting in place when you've actually reeled that fish in. We've got a tried and proven system and a fabulous community. Now, I know that went for a long time, but I just thought that thing, it's so classic. So if anyone, it was from Ignite, I think, if you made notes there. But as I said, we are recording this, so you can always have it to listen back. I just want to see if there was a quick thing, because I'm pretty sure I had finished. Yeah, no, that's all done. I think that's what I did, and then I had to race out. Okay, so did we learn a few times? Just going to look at the messages. Yeah, and that's great, Amanda, that you've got a few from your launch interested. They might be interested in coming to bowling. They might be interested to do other things. You could even say to them, would you like to come to another information day and have a bit more of a listen? We can do it all over again.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing another one because I had quite a few that couldn't come that day. So
yeah, and that's why as you go on your journey with Juice Plus, just say you get some new people, try and get them to have 2. Like Kim had 2 in one weekend. She had Saturday afternoon, then Sunday morning, I think. Crazy, but it worked. And then she had another little one later on. So because you will always get someone say, oh, I can't come, but I'm really interested. And to see if they really are, the second date usually helps. So guys, I was going to fish out the Master Asker questions, but I thought it was more important, rather than just looking at a document and thinking, oh, that's a good question to ask. Oh, that's a good question. I'm just hoping you got my gist, which I learned a lot today when I was prepping the call, just how to get them. Because like Eric Worre says, you've got to pin them down. Would you have, it's if I, would you? So, Amanda, have you read Eric Worre's GoPro book?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
For all of us, we need to read it all the time because it sounds a bit old hat, but nothing's really changed except social media has come on the thing. And guys, I realise it's very late. Sorry, this has been much longer than it should have been. I got a bit carried away in fact, I got carried away so much I was 10 minutes late for Xavier's coaching call. I didn't even have a watch on. I think I was halfway between having my breakfast or lunch and putting makeup on. I didn't know whether it was Arthur or Martha today. Never mind. Okay. So any questions before we go? Let me just stop the recording.